Mocha for a Monday. And I know I hate the camera angle, but this is what we're going to do, and I'll explain in a moment. Oops, sorry about that. Put the volume down there. Glad you're along. Let's roll the open. Let's talk some playoff baseball. Let's talk from Fargo next. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Let's roll it. Oh, yeah, the Groovy Jams. We know what that means. It means one thing and one thing only. It's Monarchs Mocha Playoff Edition. Monarchs Mocha as well. How about that? And hope you guys doing well today. Happy Monday to you. Hope your team won. My team sucked yesterday. The NFL started yesterday, which actually was kind of a nice day for a lot of the team yesterday to sort of do their thing. Let me bring this down here. Anyway, Chiefs won. That's good for folks there in KC. And anyway, show's brought to you by. I'm kind of let me see if I can shuffle them around a little bit here. It looks a little better. There we go. I'm a little off in the lights, but I'm in the room because actually this is really not a terrible set. I guess if I adjust, maybe I should probably turn this light a little bit. Well, a little late now. I don't like the fact that it's shooting me from the direction it's shooting me. I'm shooting up, and that gives me I look like fat guy in a little shirt. But honestly, I swear this shirt fits. Hello, Gary Kenny. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Yes, go Monarchs. Big night tonight. Again, I don't always look this odd. I mean, I swear I just worked out about an hour ago, and so I'm feeling refreshed, but I don't look refreshed. I look kind of like I've been punched in the face. Usually if I shot it at the normal, this is what you get. You'd get like this. So anyway, that's why we're at a strange angle, and the lighting looked a lot better earlier, but I don't know what it is. I got lights behind me and all that. Anyway, you guys don't care, right? You guys are here because you want to talk about the Monarchs, which are brought to you by the Roastery Coffee Company. Now, if we were in Kansas City, this is what you'd have. A roastery, it'd have roastery right here. And so this is a Caribou, which is you folks that may have been up in the Midwest, out in the West. It is I guess up in the Wisconsin and in that area, Minnesota, all that. That's kind of that area. It's kind of the regional coffee chain. Not terrible, not bad at all. There's a little next door to the Holiday Inn here. There's a place called Hornbacher's. It's a really good grocery store. And I remember Greg Taggart, the old manager of the Railcats, used to love to come here because Hornbacher's had a great deli, salad bar. It was a full service grocery store, but it had everything. You get some sushi, you got some fruit, you got you some chicken salads. I bought grilled salmon fillets here last time we were here, or maybe it was in July of last year. I made like little grilled salmon sandwiches, warmed them in the microwave, and it's actually pretty good. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, you can buy all kinds of groceries here, and they got a coffee shop there. Has anyone calculated the miles traveled the last week? I'll try to get these on the screen. I'm not sure why I didn't come on. Let me see if I do this, if that'll help. There we go. Let's see if that'll get you guys on the screen. No, but I would like to, and I was thinking about that a little bit yesterday. I was telling somebody, now this is a really cool thing. Fargo has got a little something going on that a lot of places don't. These small little mom and pop, I call them casinos, where they've got literally in a sports bar. It's a big, huge sports bar called Wild Bill's, huge Vikings bar, place is packed. All the games are on. Over the corner is a blackjack table, right? I mean, just a blackjack table. It's that's all it is. Blackjack table, $3 minimum. I mean, talk about awesome. Anyway, I was telling the guys, a couple guys were playing there. We were just chatting. I said, "Yeah, that's a lot of miles on the road." I said, "Yeah, it is." I said, "It's all it." And I started thinking about it. I was telling them, well, there's a team in Milwaukee. It's got to go down to Texas and then back. And I was talking to Rob Paneer and Kevin Luco about this yesterday. I wonder if that affects Cleveland more or Milwaukee more, because Milwaukee's not done it in a while. Cleveland has. They've been back and forth. Now, a lot of those Clevelands are not all of them are flying, but a handful are flying. I do know some are flying. Their broadcaster flew with his wife. I know that. When we love Brad, he's an awesome dude. So I'd fly too. So heck, I may fly to Dallas if we play Cleveland, if we make it that far, and they make it that far. But yeah, the miles. You know what? I will try to do that. Um, I will do that. Uh, it's creeping closer to 5 o'clock somewhere, Mom. Yeah, well, you're in the Eastern time zone, so you've got about 3 more hours. Wait, 2 more. Wait, 3 more hours, right? Because it's 2 o'clock for you. Is that right? Yeah, it was almost 1 o'clock here in the Central Zone. All right, let me move this around here. Let's bring the roastery. Anyway, Roastery Coffee Company, 6 locations to Kansas City. I wish I was there right now talking to you from there. And next year we'll do the show from there more. When we kind of get the schedule sort of sorted, we can go in there, maybe do it, maybe on Wednesdays when we're home, whatever. Be great. Different location. That'd be kind of cool. And bring people out and all that. It's a great idea. Something I've been thinking about. Brian says, let's see. No, you always look this odd, but so do we. So they fit it. Thanks, Mark. Love you too, sir. I swear I don't look this bad. I don't like this. Here's the problem, and I realize this. As the weight loss increases, so does the saggy skin. And I didn't realize but my face was fatter when I was fatter. I didn't have this. I know you guys don't care about this, but this is the intimacy of the broadcast we bring. We bring a broadcast of intimacy where you can learn our intimate secrets. But when I was fatter, 2019-ish, and I do a show like this, my face is like this round. But I didn't have all this. But now I got all this. And the good news is, and I'll tell you this, I didn't even tell my wife this. So I packed some blue jeans. I hadn't worn blue jeans all summer because either I'm wearing slacks, they're jean slacks. They're the comfortable, you know what I'm talking about. You guys know what I'm talking about. They're the comfortable, business casual. You can wear them to the bar, you can wear them to the game, you can wear them to church, right? And they're jean-like. They're blue jeans, basically, but they're slacks. But I haven't actually worn blue jeans since, probably back in May. And I put on the blue jeans, and I dreaded. I packed a pair, didn't even try them on. I packed a pair that I brought with me, and I thought, don't know if they're going to work. And lo and behold, they did work, and they worked fine. So I was very happy with that development. That was a very good development over the weekend. So there's that. So anyway, first of all, you know what I mean, Anthony. You do know what I mean. Well, I'm glad. All right, Roastery Coffee Company. Appreciate their support. Let me bring this down, bring you guys up here. There you go. The lighting's a little better. You can see it's a little better. If I see, it's not terrible. This is a really cool room. It's got a little place to work, but it's like a little love seat, and the TV was here. And yesterday I watched the early games. We got in right at noon. What I should have done, I just ran out of time. If you follow me on Facebook, and what I'll try to do, I'll try to tweet you guys a link to this. I'll tweet a link to it perhaps, or maybe I can do a montage on Twitter of the road up yesterday, and really started on Saturday night at 2 a.m. We left at 2 a.m. Saturday night, coming to Fargo. We knew we were playing by then because that game ended about 9:30. Winnipeg going down to defeat 6-3. We knew we were on our way. So 2 a.m. we mustered there at the ballpark, ready to go. Hit the road, and going up just north of Omaha, between Omaha and Sioux City, right before sunup, there was a traffic backup, and it wasn't construction, but apparently a truck had burned his brakes out, and I think it was hauling something, like a living something. I don't know if it was chickens, pork, or something going north, because that's where the big Tyson plants are up that way anyway. Apparently all was okay, but the brakes caught part of the truck on fire, and it closed the freeway down. So we spent about 25 minutes kind of sitting there in the middle of the night. And it was kind of nice because you were not moving and there's no bumps and you don't wake up. It was really nice sleep for 20 minutes. But anyway, we did. Brad Meyer said he'll pay for the extra skin removal. I don't know about that. Tell us about the Cowboy game yesterday. What to tell you about? They're dreadful. They're dreadful, sir. They're dreadful, and I'm glad that you guys that are Kansas City Chiefs fans have to deal with that. But they're dreadful, just dreadful. I mean, they're just dreadful. I just saw that they've lost Curse for a couple, gosh, 6 weeks or something. I don't know. Dak's down. I mean, they're terrible. They're dreadful. And it's funny. I think my fandom, and I think my fandom has gotten sour with them, if it was possible, more sour, because I've watched Culture Matter. And I'm a real big believer, and this is the serious side of it, though, Chris, I'll tell you this. Culture matters. You know, what the Hunt family, what, Andy Reid, what he's done with Patrick and all that group, that matters. Culture matters. Uh, Clark Hunt doesn't care if he walks into the local grocery store is recognized in Dallas because he's not. The guy lives a different. He lives very close to us, but a different area, a different price range. I'll tell you that. But having been to his house, having met the man personally, Clark Hunt cares no bit about being recognized in public in the city of Dallas. Now, about 3 blocks away lives a guy in a very large compound that does care about being recognized and does want to fly the helicopter across town and does want to have a yacht draft from there and does all that nonsense. He does. He wants to go to the fancy steakhouse and be recognized. My encounter with Clark Hunt, the first time that I actually chatted with him at length, he was wearing dad tennis shoes, dad shorts, and a dad shirt watching his son play JV football, like every other dad does. Jerry will fly into a high school game in a helicopter and get out and show off. That's what he does. So again, culture matters. Now, which culture wins? Well, the culture that's winning, right? And I'm a big believer in culture, and I'll go back to this when it comes to the Monarchs, what the Monarchs culture is. The Monarchs culture, between the lines, is what we do. It's what we're doing right now. I was asked this question yesterday. This is great. It's funny because my reference, and I watched the Cowboys and I was disgusted, but I wasn't mad. I mean, I know it's coming, right? I know the situation. I know why they've got a mess, because they've got let me put it this way. If Mark Brandmeier decided tomorrow that he was smarter about baseball than he was smarter about baseball, who should bat leadoff than Joe Campietra, and he decided that Joe didn't know what he's doing with players, so he decides he's going to sign the players, and he's going to buy the groceries, right? It's old Bill Parcells line. Do you think this team's in the playoffs every year? I mean, I hope it is. It might be, but it might not be. But Mark Brandmeier would tell you, and I'm just using Mark as an example, Mark would tell you that's not his thing. And he's okay with that. He owns the team. He owns the brand. He's proud of the brand. He's going to promote the brand, promote the team, support the team, give Joe all he needs. Give Joe what he needs. If that means getting a sleeper bus to drive all night, that's what he needs, right? Getting us here a day early, if that's what he needs, that's what he needs. That's what good culture is. But the bad culture would be, okay, well, I want this guy to lead off. I want to get this guy to pitch. I mean, that's the problem. The old joke was back when they bought the team was, and I didn't want this to turn into the whole, but it does. But I want you to understand how important it is. Culture matters. When old Jerry Jones bought the team, he was involved in socks to jocks and all that, right? Well, he probably should have stick to doing what he does best, which is make money, because he didn't care about one. He may look mad last night, but he's laughing all the way to the bank. They had 90,000 fans that all paid $20 a beer, whatever it was they paid for, and everybody was fighting. And half of them were gone when they realized Dak was hurt anyway. That's a bad culture. It's a bad culture. So anyway, but I get culture matters. And I tell you, culture in Fargo's been really good. When they had Doug Simonik here for a long time, they had a hell of a run with Doug Simonik, and then finally Doug, they parted with Doug, and they had a really good 1 year. And Jim Bennett was manager of the year. Then he was let go, and I don't know anything that happened there, but he was here for 1 year, was manager of the year, and then they've Michael Slack was here. They've had what they've had is people from the same mold, okay? And they had guys that all got what independent baseball was about. And Chris Costa is the same way. He understands what this league's about, what it's about. Joe does. Rick Forney does. And those guys can instill a culture between the lines that if you have a good marketing department, you have good promotions, you've got a hell of a product. And that's what this league's about. And I think you see it time and time again. I'm not going to tell you that, I don't know who's got the best culture in the league. I feel like we do. But I don't know who has bad culture, but I'm just telling you, you look around sports, and I'm telling you, that is huge. And I don't think I realized it until I got involved in this business in this as deep as I am. Because I've watched it. I'll admit it. I've watched it. I've watched things change in the Australian Baseball League where teams sort of figured it out and realized it wasn't about signing just the biggest name. It also about, developing your development program and getting people in the seats. There's a big lot to it. At the end of the day, it's also treating your people well. And Joe Calpietra, Chris Coase, both these guys treat their players well, and they love their players, and that's important. Again, these are all problems, but when you've got meddlesome stuff, and granted, that's the right. They have a right. I got no problem with the AD or the owner calling up and said, "Hey, why'd you guys get blown out? Why'd you guys get blown out 55-10?" Nebraska has fired their head coach. It's optically bad. It looks bad. He's one of their guys, but at some point somebody has to be held accountable, right? But when you're doing what you're doing, and it's still whatever time if you're still doing the same things and ain't working, then there's a problem with your culture, right? Would you agree with me? I think that's a problem. And it's one thing to come up short and have a heartbreaking loss, lose by a field goal or a walk-off run. That doesn't mean you have bad culture. It's the body of work over the years. It's over the years, the traction you get. If the Monarchs win this championship or they don't, there's still great culture here. Same with Fargo. They're not they win or lose. Winning or losing this series does not mean one of them has bad culture at all. Great culture got them here, right? I mean, I'm not talking about the key. Doesn't guarantee you're going to win a championship every year, but if you can be the talk every year and you're in the mix. Because then things happen like in a one game off, which we're going to talk about in a moment, or things happen. People get if a guy, Matt Adams getting hurt is not because of bad culture, right? It's not at all. Those are things that happen, the ebbs and flows of a season. But if you have your things set up right, and I would give you this, I'll give you a great example of that is Winnipeg. Winnipeg's got great culture. Rick Forney had a younger team this year, and they fought through and finished in a really tough division, a distant third, but they did. They didn't start real well. But Rick has built something up there that's been competitive every year they've been in this league. They're always a tough out, always. So anyway, all right, let's go down the questions here. Let's see here. I do look odd, yes. The miles traveled. I will get to that for you guys on Wednesday. Brian is saying, I like this whole thing about playing in a hub. Okay, here's my thought on that. And this is my thing. And I told Kevin Luco this yesterday. I would love, if we're going to do this 3-game thing we're doing right now, I'm not a big fan of it. It's what we have to play in. We're going to play in it. That's what we're doing, right? So we're playing a 3-game season. One team tonight's going to be facing elimination on Wednesday. Somebody will be. Somebody will be facing elimination. Now, obviously, in this business, eventually you do face elimination. But it'd like to be after 2 games, not 1. That's my thing. And I love the idea, if we're going to make the All-Star game a huge deal, which the league did a great job of this year in Chicago, why not have a marquee event at the end of the year? If you don't want, if the All-Star game is a big deal, well, I would suggest your championship should be a bigger deal to me, because you're only celebrating the first half of the year, the All-Star game. Your championship should be the biggest deal, right? So your championship's the biggest deal. And the ultimate thing is to showcase the league's best teams. Why not do a College World Series style thing? Now, I know that no one does that. I know it's not popular in Major League Baseball. It's not a minor league baseball thing either. But the College World Series is huge. And going to the College World Series is huge. And being there is huge. And if you lose one game, you're not done. And that's what I was coming from. If we're going to really trick stuff up, and I think that's what baseball in general is doing, not us, but I say as a baseball group, the new rules of the major leagues, all the things we're doing, they're tricking things up, and I get it. We've evolved as a people. We move on. This is not 1901. I get it. There's a lot of really good about this game that should stay, but I know that's there's always been places. I mean, I'm sure when they brought the DH in back in what was it, 1969? What was that, 70? When did the DH come in? People probably thought, oh my gosh, it's terrible. I won't tell the old Monarchs who used to pitch and hit and had guys driving in triples on the day they're pitching. I mean, these guys were studs. But again, that's just my thought. Where we're coming from with this is not that it's to try to draw interest for the fan base. So if you're pushing all summer, hey, we're going to do the American Association, and maybe it's not just the American Association, maybe it's the Independent World Series. We're going to play it in Chicago's Unpacked Field. We're going to play at Kansas City's Legends Field and turn it into a freaking event for a week and get people, does that mean start the season a week or two earlier? I'm just saying, outside the box thinking, what I'm trying to do is grow the numbers of people that go to the ball games. I have no idea what the crowd will be like tonight. I think it'll be okay because they had a good crowd last year. I mean, it was decent. I have no idea what numbers are going to be on Wednesday. It'll be decent. But don't you think that this game, as good as these games are, these teams are, deserves 5,000, 6,000 people? Sure. It's hard. So how are you going to the problem we have in this business is that we don't know who's going to be where into the year, right? We don't know. So make it an event. Even though we don't know who's going to be there, let's still make it an event. And maybe, you have a whole year to sell it and book it and get people groups out and all that. And it's ballpark time. Oh, this is great. I mean, just an outside the box idea. That's where it came from. So good stuff. All right. No, again, I know it's not going to be met with popular. I know people think it's crazy. Kevin got a good point. But, I mean, what's outside of who was it that had a great crowd? Who had the good crowd? Was Cleburne had a good crowd. Who else had a good crowd? Was it I think it was Fargo had a really solid number their first night here. I have to go back and look. But it's a hard sell, man. It's hard because you just don't know. I mean, we're doing all we can do, but we got people got other things going on. This last weekend, we had a Friday night game while across the street was a NASCAR truck race. You guys heard of the crowd mic, right? I know. It's just some ideas, and I throw them out there. Something to talk about. Is this going to be a chicken wing? No chicken wing story, Mark. I did have chicken wings yesterday. Wild Bill's is pretty good here. I really haven't dove into the wings here in Fargo. It's a town I've not discovered because the Buffalo Wild Wings have been walking distance. That's has been the main reason. And then B, just haven't really dug into it in the times I love coming here. Let's see here. Cowboys have been tragic. Yeah, well, Mom, you live in Indiana. You could always move to Lubbock and be in a paradise of Lubbock, Texas. No matter what Mac Davis said, he realized it was greatness. Or you could be in Austin, I guess. I thought the Monarchs drove up overnight on Saturday post sleeping in their own beds during the day yesterday. Let's see. That was interesting that the Monarchs drove up on Saturday. Yes. Very interesting. We decided to leave. Again, we decided to leave on Saturday night at midnight, or 2 a.m. And we got here yesterday at lunch. We had all day to relax. Guys we don't have a 2:30 bus today. Guys have it all day to relax, get sea legs. I caught up with Casey Gillespie when I was walking out during the halftime of the first games, I believe it was. No, it was the second games. Because he's a Green Bay fan. He was watching Green Bay. It was the first quarter, I guess. I was walking out to go to where I was going to go, and I just got it on a couple of sports bars, just found one that looked like it was a good place and got some decent reviews. And lo and behold, at a blackjack table, which I lost my tail in, and my wife had to hear me whinge about it. But I did meet a guy at sailing. These two divorced guys decided to buy a boat. They're going over to somewhere in the east, like Maryland, to pick it up. They're going down the East Coast and they're going to go down eventually, go around, they're going to go down to Florida, they're going to go down around the Keys, they eventually cross the Panama Canal, and sometime after New Year's, around Christmas or so, they're going to sail for, you say it was 5 days from there to Maui, and he's going to move to, they're not going to have the boat off of Maui. So these two guys are doing, they're leaving Fargo forever on Thursday. It's like what? What? Like, okay, sounds like a winner. These two guys have this sounds like a winner. Interesting. But yeah, we drove up yesterday. And again, it feels great because I was dragging tail yesterday, but not today. I'm ready to go. Got my nitro, did my workout. I'll be packed here in a few minutes and be out to lunch and be done. So don't chat with you guys. Yes, I've heard of Paul Morgan. I know him well. It's funny. Did chat with him over the weekend. Yeah, the Cornhuskers just paid $15 million. Yeah. And that's what bad culture does for you. Brian, bad culture costs you. It costs you. You're right. I saw that the buyout was going to drop, in 4 or 5 weeks? They went ahead and pulled the trigger now. I mean, but it cost them. And I find that, I remember when the Chris Beard saga at Texas Tech happened, when he left, when his buyout dropped and he bolted for UT. And Tech was going to pay him as much and more than UT with better facilities, better fan base for basketball. And I would tell you, it's probably better fan base in general. Yes, he does that. Yes, he's not going to be able to live in Austin where he went to school, but he won't pay for anything and he gets everything. And now, with the University of Texas, they bought out, what was it, who they have? It was Shaka Smart, right? They bought him out, paid him to go away, who's now at Marquette, who's kicking tail. Probably a better situation for him anyway, a real basketball school. But these schools spend money while we have, what's amazing to me, we spend all this money on we have homeless and people without jobs. It breaks my heart. The big sports is big money, and bad culture costs you. And optically, these state institutions, especially a private school, it's the Baylors of the world or Notre Dame's, they can do what they want. But a state school, somebody's got $50 million is a lot of money, right? Do we agree? I mean, what could you do with $15 million? Could you solve your homeless cry? Not solve it, but could you really put a dent in the homeless situation in the state of Nebraska with that money? You might be able to wipe it out. I'm just saying. I mean, that's tough, man. See, bad culture cost, and you're in a cycle. And, granted, Jerry's got all the money in the world with the Cowboys. He can pay that, write that check, but it costs. Does it matter to him? No. He's his private business. He can do what he wants to, but it's still bad culture cost you. I would say just bad business. Let's see here. Monarchs. The Monarchs. Sorry. Let's see here. Monarchs. Why isn't that coming up? There we go. Monarchs come up here to play. You will win. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm talking about, Anthony. That's exactly what Joe. We're gonna come here. We're gonna show, and I'll tell you this. What you guys don't see, and I'll give you this. I won't give you any examples but there are examples ongoing now that I know of personally, where Joe, despite his team being in the postseason, is also trying to help his guys down the road. He's trying to get guys signed, get guys to affiliate a ball, get them to chase their major league dreams. I know while you're here, we're going to win, and you're going to enjoy baseball again. That's happening. It's happening right now. It's happening. It happened this weekend. I can tell you that personally it happened this weekend. So that matters. That does matter. Mark said, I'm a Cowboys fan. Chiefs moved in the first place 2 years ago. I fought Jerry Jones. Missouri. My problem is, Mark, is that I can't do that. I thought about that today. I just couldn't do it. I can't say no. I grew up as one of my heroes, Danny Don Meredith, Roger Staubach, Tom Landry used to speak to us at school. I played in Tom Landry Stadium in high school. He's a man of faith, which is important to me. I grew up with the legends, and what you have to understand, Mark, and I don't want to get. I don't even want to go. I really didn't want to go this today. I didn't want to go through all this thing, but I'll do it anyway because I think it'll just show the passion I have for the Monarchs. But you got to understand that Dallas, North Texas, was thought of as a joke post 1963, despite the fact it was growing and growing and growing. But you got to understand what the city of Dallas went through, what the North Texas went, and the state went through, but that part of the state went through post-Kennedy assassination. I remember as a little kid, and my mom can vouch for this. We were on a holiday in Santa Fe, New Mexico one year, and these kids from the North were accusing me of killing Kennedy. And I didn't know, A, I didn't know who Kennedy was. B, I was just like 1972. It's like, 11 years later, I didn't know anything about it. I wasn't even alive then. And I was like, did we do that? No, but we grew up in that stigma. But the Cowboys changed all that. And I think Texas spirit changed a lot of that. And now you look up, and I would tell you this, that the Oakland Athletics would never have been playing in Oakland, much less Kansas City, if they'd have moved in 1970 instead of 1960. They'd been playing in Arlington, pure and simple. But you look at the places that have grown, how fast they've grown, and I look at that, and I can attest that one of the big reasons is that stigma went away. People didn't think of that place as a pariah of a place. It's not a pariah of a place. Now people didn't think about it. Now it's part of our history. Of course, yesterday was 9/11, and most people forgot, which is ridiculous. A whole other story. Had a great conversation with an Uber driver yesterday. Such a great one. This guy was so awesome. Great conversation about this very fact yesterday. And, I didn't post anything yesterday. I saw a lot of people did. I reflected a little bit, but, watched some stuff last night, but it's frustrating. It's like when I used to hear my grandfather talk about Pearl Harbor, and I'm like, when was that? It's ridiculous. How soon we forget, right? But I just can't do it. I can't do that. I can't do it. I will pull for Patrick because he's a Red Raider, and he's done a great thing for my university. And I want you guys to be happy. You guys, my family in Kansas City, I love you. I want you to do well. I want your teams to do well. I want you guys to have success, and I hope you guys do. And I'm pulling for you, and to root you be happy. And if you guys are happy, that's great. I'm happy for you. Now, when it comes to KU and KSU and you're playing Tech, different story. Different story altogether. Okay. Yes, you guys, Sneedo, you're crazy. Let's see a team. I've heard that too. I've heard some chatter about that. I will tell you that I don't think there's going to be anything. My indication, what I'm hearing, is that nothing's going to change for next year. But I would not be shocked. They've had a team across the way. What was that team called? River City Rascals or something? That there was a team there in the Frontier, wasn't there? I don't know how it did, but I know there was one there. Anyway, yes, you do. You do, Sneedo. Let's see here. Kevin said the logistics of locker rooms available to hotels would be tough, but the theory is interesting. Yeah, it would be. I'm not, and maybe it's not a thing. Maybe it's a thing where Kevin, it's not even an association park. Maybe it is. Maybe it is in Omaha. I don't know. I'm throwing it out there. That may be too expensive, but what ballparks could do it? I don't know. I mean, do you have to dress at the hotel? I mean, is that part of it? Is that going to suck? Probably. I don't know how the College World Series does it, but I mean, maybe it's Omaha. I don't know. It's an idea. Yeah, but that's a good point. I believe in Australia, when we did it, they only had 4 teams playing those hubs, and they had 11, 11 local time, Eastern time, and I believe it was a 4. No, it was 11, 4, and 8, I think, starting time. I think that's right. But they had a gap in there to get guys in and out and all that. But again, I don't know. I think that a series in an unaffiliated area would die. I think a series in an unaffiliated area would die a terrible death. Since down the playoffs already having having a series Des Moines, whatever. Yeah, probably so. Probably so. I think we're also. What's the destination city in our league? I mean, what's the destination city in our league? Chicago. That's a destination city, isn't it? Isn't it? I think it is. I mean, a lot of things to do there. I mean, you say Chicago, there's a lot of things to do. Twin Cities. I mean, I guess. Why not Kansas City? Centrally located. Got a new airport. plenty of things to do there. I mean, granted, it's not Chicago, but I mean, the setup. Anyway, yeah, I know, Mom. I know all that about the Cowboy thing. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're a big Chiefs fan, Mom. Congratulations. I love you, Mom. The problem at South Carolina wins basketball culture. Problem over the yeah. I don't know anything about that. I know a little bit about the BYU deal only because I know the Big 12 original apprehension about not having them in, and I know that the Pac-12 avoided them for a long time because of some of that. But I don't know enough about that story. I don't know enough about that story. I really don't. But I have to look it up. But thanks for that, Mark. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Kenny says, unfortunately, fans are paying those buyouts too. Yeah, they are. I mean, those people. Somebody's writing a check for that. I know they're paying for it. It's become pretty big, isn't it? I mean, it's big money. I'm not saying it's. I thought that some of the stuff the University of Texas has done buying out over the last couple of years when they fired the last guy and they got I just think it looks bad. We're a major state institution in a state of that large to just throw money around like it's no big deal. No matter where it comes from. I just think I guess I've come a little bit around in full circle as I got older. That when I see someone sleeping under a bridge, that bugs me. I can't. It bugs me when I see someone with a sign, holding a sign somewhere that in KC that wants money. It bugs me. Anywhere it bugs me. I used to kind of probably poo-poo it off when I was younger, like, yeah, meh. But as you get older, I think you realize, man, things happen. And optically, I love sports. I love what we do, but I make pennies. I do this because I love it. And, maybe one day I will make $1, but that's not the point. But if I had $1, I want to give it to somebody. I mean, I just think optically it looks bad for major institutions to throw that kind of money around, and they publicize that number because they have to, and then you got to state that you can't fund schools. Now, granted, the money's all coming from different places. I get it, but it's still a state institution, a land grant university, the marquee university in your state. It could be any state. Give me any state. I don't care. It's all the same story. Your private school, different story. And I know they have endowments and things like that. I get that. I know that. I just think it looks bad. All right. Let's go back to baseball. We haven't really got anywhere to baseball today. We've been talking about other nonsense. And I got lunch to get to if they're going to be open because we have an hour. I'm going to miss lunch today. Dang it. Should have got I just was ran out. I run out of time every day. This workout thing drives me insane because I'll have to do it. Hall room to govern tonight, yes. Who do you got? Who do you got, Kevin? Who do you guys got tonight? Matt Hall going tonight. You feel good about that? I feel good about that. I think this is going to be every bit of a game you wish you could bottle up and play it every time because this is going to be really good stuff. This is my argument why we need a 5-game series in this round because let us see these two guys go a couple times. But yeah, Hall's been great. The Governor's been great. It should be a phenomenal matchup. I don't have an edge here. I think if you were going to give an edge, I would say there is no edge because I can tell you Hall's going to be really good tonight. And I think McGovern will be really good tonight. I think what's going to be the real key is which bullpen in the crucial situations can deliver. And is it McGovern from last time against Winnipeg or is it McGovern from when he was in Kansas City? He pitched pretty well there. And the Monarchs' problem in that ball game is they got behind early. When Fargo got a 3-spot early off Belzer and never recovered. And, they chipped away over the course of the game, but just never got it closer. Bullpen pitched well, but just never got it closer. Just couldn't get the big hit. I think here, if it's like every big playoff game in the major leagues, every big playoff game in basketball, don't want to fall behind that first 2 innings. You can somehow get to the first inning, 2 innings, and be even, right? And then go to work. Because I think the key for Kansas City is that second and third time through the McGovern. I think that's the thing. And that'll be interesting to see tonight. So, yeah. Yeah, Mark says the Rascals Frontier League. That's who it was, yeah. Yeah, Mark's saying good point. Take 1.1 over 2.7 AR every time. I agree. I think the key is too for Kansas City, the umpire crew is the same as we've had. Where is it? The umpire crew tonight is a good one, I believe. Let me see if I can find it here for you guys. Yeah, it's the Mayhew Edwards is one of them. I know that. I can't remember the whole group, but um, if the outside corner to left-handed batters and away to righties is trouble, then I think that's going to benefit both pitchers. If the strike zone gets narrow, I think Hall does have a little better opportunity here in that situation. They're both unflappable. They're both very unflappable guys. I don't know. Obviously, I know Matt, and I don't know McGovern personally, but I have heard good things about him. And he'll be tough. He'll be tough. And this will be a tough matchup tonight. No if ands or buts about it. It will be a very tough matchup tonight, but it'll be a great matchup, and I'm looking forward to it. This will be, and unfortunately, the winner of this game will have a huge advantage because you're facing losers facing elimination off the bat tomorrow or Wednesday. But this has been a very good place for Fargo. They're going to be tough here. They're going to have all their bits going. They're going to have all their stuff going on, and they've been good, really good here. Kansas City is going to be kind of the. I don't think anybody gives. I think people think Kansas City, even despite Hall, they don't. I don't think most folks would really tell you that Monarchs have much of a chance in this. I would tell you that that's wrong. I don't think of that way, but I've had a few suggestions that and I think the general feeling is that the Redhawks revenge and all that. I don't think that's in the play either. I mean, I don't. If anything, the Monarchs feel like they have something to prove because I think that looks to be important too. Should be a great game. Rob Penner asked me other keys to the game. I think it's again the Monarchs do what the Monarchs do. The Monarchs do what the Monarchs do. Fargo does what they do. This should be a great game. The Monarchs have got some guys that have been this before. There's Pete Cosma's not going to be freaking out because this is a huge game tonight. It's not. Cosma hit a big double against the Nationals in a crucial Game 5 on the road and gave the Cardinals a win. He's not going to be freaked out about the moment. I think the Monarchs defense will be really good. I think this club has got so many stars that you can just take your pick. Sweeney was the big star in the last series, at least Friday. But this thing is so deep, and, it's going to be interesting to see how it works out. But I think really just do what you've been doing. There's no reason to change what you've been doing. This is why the 3-game series in the regular season is so important. Those 3-game series, winning 2 or 3, however you do it, that's important. We've had several times, we've had a Sunday game or a Wednesday game or whatever, Thursday game where we're trying to win a series. And I've asked Joe, it's series winning time. The baseball math, we talk about it. Do what you do. So do what you do. Good point, Mark. Dyers will be a great place to have a tournament, wouldn't it? Steve's asking, do American Association teams have dedicated broadcast teams still to what? Yes, they do. Each one's a little different. Here's really different. They've got Jack Michaels, who's a legendary voice in the area, does a talk show here. He's a sports guy here in town. He also does University of North Dakota Fighting Sioux, football, I think basketball. Yeah, he does basketball too, and maybe women's basketball. I think the women's basketball, or is it no, he does football, play-by-play. and he works with the station, and he works with the ball club. He works for the station. Steve Schuster up in Winnipeg works the ball club. They have a radio deal. I work for the ball club. I think everybody else works the ball club with the exception maybe of Milwaukee. I think he's a contract guy. I think works for a station. I don't remember, honestly. I know Tom, but I don't know if he and Milwaukee only does home games. King County only does home games right now as well. They have a guy, King County's broadcaster, Joe Brand, works for WGN in Chicago, does Blackhawks pre and post, so he's busy with that a lot, and does some talk shows for them as well. And he doesn't travel because of that. So there's that. But anyway, yes, they all do various forums. Some do things that we do, some don't. Kevin says the best thing of the layout of the 3-game series, you can go with number one pitcher. Yes, that is the best thing for both clubs. The worst thing is that there's no reward for finishing first except picking who you got to pick, and that was only based upon your odometer on your bus. I mean, Monarchs didn't want to drive to Canada. That's plain and simple. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I agree. I loved last year's format, the play-in game. I love that play-in game. That did give an advantage to the team that won the division. But again, is that not what they're called? What are they called? I don't even know what they're called. Not they're called the fighting. Am I wrong about that, or am I politically incorrect about that? I thought that I understood that I don't know. Did I say something wrong there, Kevin? Are they not the Fighting Sioux anymore? I don't know. That's what I've seen on the shirts. I even seen indigenous people wearing them too. Am I wrong about that? Did I do something insensitive there? I hope not. University of North Dakota, then, whatever they're called. Fighting Hawks? Okay. I didn't know that. See, I didn't know that. That's my bad. Totally bad. I apologize. If I said something wrong there, I do apologize. I didn't know. I swear I saw a shirt today. It said Fighting Sioux on it. That's what I saw in the grocery store. So, anyway, sorry about that. To the Fighting Hawks. Okay, which makes sense. I get it. I get it. I understand totally. All right, last call here. I just want to give you guys an update. We got in yesterday. We're all here. We're going to go to the ballpark at 2:30. Be ready tonight. Broadcast tonight, and I'll give you that here. Broadcast time tonight. Let's see here. It's going to be 6 o'clock, on the air at 6 o'clock. Also on AA Baseball TV. Let's give you all those channels here in the Monarchs Broadcast Network tonight. Let's see here. Don't forget AA Baseball. Great stuff there in AA Baseball. Great stuff. This is a good product here. They do a great job in Fargo. It's a really good video product here. Very top notch, and you'll enjoy it. And if you can't join that, join us right here on the radio side. I'd love to have you. MixLR, the place to be. We interactive chat back and forth. Also, our booth cam will be up tonight. Ready for that as well. A lot of folks checking that out. So be all that going tonight here from Fargo. How do you guys feel as we let you guys go? What do you feel? Do you guys feel good tonight? Anybody feel bad? Feel bad? Feel good? Everybody feeling pretty good about this? This thing is going to be a delicious night and a great night of baseball. And the American Association is going to be showcased, and it's going to be great for the league, great for both brands. And a winner or loser is going to be determined, but the league is going to get a great show tonight. I think that's really cool. That's what we want, right? We want the league to get a great show, and they'll get one. So that's my take tonight. I don't have any predictions for you, nothing of that sort. Just know that I missed lunch. Guess I'm going to be having Macca's again. I'm so tired of fast food. It's driving me insane. Mom's feeling good. Okay. Kraft says Monarchs in 2. I think it's a great series. I don't really have a prediction. I think that you've never had this. You've had some aces before, but not this kind of ace. And there's not been this kind of ace really for anybody. And really, there's not a matchup of two aces like this in a while. The Wednesday last week was a very similar matchup. And I think you'll get a very similar matchup to last Wednesday. Maybe not as high scoring, but anyway. All right. Love you guys. Thanks for stopping by. We'll be back on now tomorrow. I'll give you something. I don't know how long and I don't know what time it'll be. Maybe, again, we get in at 10 probably-ish. They 10-ish, something like that. If we get out of here, say 11:30 tonight, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30. Oh, we get home at 8:30-ish. So we'll probably have a show tomorrow. I know it sounds ridiculous when I say probably, but A, I'm out of coffee at the house. I'm out of roastery. I drank them all. And B, I may be dragging ours. But either way, we'll do something tomorrow. We'll try to get you caught up on what happened and get you set up for Wednesday. And, of course, back on Wednesday. Wednesday night at the ballpark is the next ball game at home. Tickets at monarchsbaseball.com. monarchsbaseball.com for tickets. Information, call Ticky Nicky. He'll set you up there. Or go to the website and get you all covered as well. Monarchs and the Fargo Moorhead Redhawks in midfield tonight. Should be fun. Should be a great one. Pack the sleeves and pack the drama, right? Ready to go. Hope you'll be at the broadcast tonight and love to have you guys join us on A Baseball and on MixLR. And again, thanks for the conversation. We got a lot of talk about culture. I want to talk more about baseball, but it did wind itself back to the conversation, just how special this Monarchs club is, and it's very special. And what we're doing right now is very special. It's because culture matters. So we'll see you Wednesday, Steve. Everybody else out there, again, we're brought to you by the Roastery Coffee Company in Kansas City. 6 locations. Get your roastery set up. Get that raspberry chocolate cold brew for you, right? All right, I got to go. Got to get packed up. We got a bus in 45 minutes. Anyway, love you guys. I'll see you in the broadcast tonight. Ready for some 1, 2, 3, go Monarchs? You guys ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go Monarchs. I'll see the broadcast tonight, everybody. How about a closing jam here? Blue, closing jam. Here we go. Play it for us, Dan. Play it for us, Dan. Here we go. There we go.